Hi guys, and welcome to the Book Refuge. Today I wanted to do a little break from our regularly scheduled programming and bring you some recommendations for some other things that I'm loving right now because there are some awesome things. So I'm going to break this into three categories. Okay, I guess it's four. We'll say it that way. So movies that I've liked, TV shows that I've liked, podcasts that I've liked, and then food items. Also, there is some YouTube channels, so maybe there's more than that. We'll just see how this goes. Here we go, friends. Let's start off with some movies that I'm loving. One that's obviously been out for a little bit already is Aladdin, the Disney remake. I really love this. I think Will Smith does a good job. He's not comparable. Don't try to play the comparison game because we all lose when that happens. But he's a new kind of genie and he's quirky and fun and I liked it. So I definitely want to give credit where credit is due in that regard. Also, I just recently went to see with my friends the Downton Abbey movie, which is basically, just a continuation of the show. It takes place a few years later and there's a big event going on. And if you love Downton Abbey, you totally should go see it. I don't really feel like it makes a lot of sense if you haven't watched the series. So on that note, I would suggest you go watch the 6 seasons of Downton Abbey because what else are you doing with your life? It's so much fun. So I would definitely suggest that as well. Those are kind of all that I have for movies, so I just want to get those out of the way. Next, TV shows, which are my favorite thing to talk about. First off, let's start with the one I don't have with me, and that's The Boys, which is on Amazon Prime. I watched this in like a day and a half. It was really fun. It is definitely not child friendly. Within the first 3 minutes of the show, you're gonna see that. The main premise of this show is there is this young adult, mid-20s, whose name is Huey, and him and his girlfriend are just going for a walk, and his girlfriend gets run through by a superhero who's on drugs, basically. And she dies right in front of him, and then they try to pay him off, and he's just so upset about it. And then he meets the boys, who aren't really fully formed into a group yet, but there's this man named, his name just went out of my head. Carl Urban's character, who he's amazing. Thresher, Cruncher, Butcher? Is it Butcher? I think it's Butcher. And he's trying to take down this superhero group who is pretty corrupt. And it's led by Homelander, who is this superhero Captain America amalgamation who is evil. And it's scary. And yeah, it was 8 episodes of awesomeness and craziness and really fun. So Homelander leads up this group of heroes called the Seven, and basically you audition and get on the Seven, and then you do superhero things, but you don't just get to do whatever you see fit. You need to make sure that you're doing things legally and safely and and the Seven are trying to become a part of the military, which would be really bad because they wouldn't have any oversight, and we don't want that to happen. So The Boys was really great. It was intense, but I really loved it. On HBO, which I don't know what you've been doing if you've been sleeping on this, but I just got it because it just came out on DVD. I watched it as soon as it was coming out, and that is Chernobyl, which is a 5-part miniseries about the Chernobyl nuclear reactor explosion, blow up incident that happened. And it has Jared Harris and Stellan Skarsgård, and they're amazing. And it's very uncomfortable. It isn't super gory, but it's painful because this is true. Yeah, it is crazy and painful, but if you love history, this is a great one. I highly recommend it. Another show that I just got into, which there are 2 seasons out of this show, and I only have the first one on DVD, but I bought the 2nd season on Amazon because I needed to know what was going on, and that is Yellowstone. This stars Kevin Costner. It's so good. It's so good. So this show, let's see if the picture will come up okay. It also has Wes Bentley in it. So this is about Kevin Costner, who he basically, he owns this ranch. This is set in present day too. And he has 4 children and one kind of like adopted son, basically, and they run this ranch, and it's cattle ranch, and they are like kind of at war with an Indian reservation nearby who is edging up on his land, as well as the government trying to build things on his land, as well as just the general like chaos and the backstabbing that goes into modern day ranching. And it's literally the cowboy mob. Little did I know, though, I was expecting something a little more like Longmire, which is one of my favorite shows. It isn't. These people, you know, they don't do things legally, but it's really good. And the inciting incident of this show is that one of the youngest brother, he lives on the Indian reservation with his wife and son, and Kevin Costner's character was very mad that he had married her. Not so much because he's like racist or anything, but more so because he had plans for his son, and having a young child with this woman and getting married that early wasn't that. So it's a little more that situation rather than it being, you know, like a racist reason. It was more of a, we have a family duty reason. And his oldest son, who's supposed to take over the ranch for him and start making his duties lighter, gets murdered in the first, like, really soon. And his youngest son killed the man who killed his brother. And that happens to be his wife's brother. So there's this whole big mess. Like, it's a whole big mess. And so to keep his youngest son safe, you know, he tells him, come back to the ranch, help me run it, we'll protect you. And his youngest son is like, I don't want to be involved with you guys, but he just keeps getting sucked in. And so it's the cowboy mob, guys, and it's great, and it's Kevin Costner, and his acting is amazing, and the third season's being filmed right now, and I can't wait. So you will have to buy this one. Like, it's not just available because it's on Paramount Network, which used to be Spike TV. So you would have to buy this, but I highly recommend it if you're, you know, into that level of stuff, because I loved it. Next, these are both established shows, but I adore them and I want to talk about them. Criminal Minds, which its final season comes out this year, I think. I'm rewatching season 13 and 14 because of this dude right here. That is Daniel Henney, and he's going to be playing Lan Mondragon, don't correct me, in the new Wheel of Time series. And I wanted to watch all of his acting, and I love Criminal Minds. I have the entire series over there, but specifically I'm rewatching these 2 seasons, and I just love it. So watch Criminal Minds. There's literally 14 seasons for you. And then next, only recently this summer, I got into Stranger Things, and I actually have the cool, like, it looks like a VHS. Target had these. I don't know why you've been sleeping on Stranger Things. I think the 4th season, which is to come out next year, will be the final season. I don't know. But I really love Stranger Things. It's about this girl named Eleven who has special powers and has been experimented on as a child. And she runs into these groups of kids who are playing D&D, and they try to stop a government agency from doing bad things. I don't think that was a good explanation, but you should check it out. Next, let us talk about some YouTube channels I'm loving right now, just real fast. I found this channel called Today I Found Out, which is a super big channel, but it has all these different like history facts and things that you never knew, like why they were created or things like that, or different historical events you don't know. Like, one of my favorite recent ones was, can the Queen be arrested for murder or be tried for murder? Or once there was a flood of molasses in a certain town, and it flooded a whole town with molasses. Or where did pizza come, or pineapple Hawaiian pizza come from? Not from Hawaii, by the way. So I really like this because I like history and I like random facts, and it's really cool. Also, I really love true crime. So there's someone named Stephanie Harlow who I've been following since... I've been following her for probably a year now, and when she was still a pretty small channel. She makes she does very thorough research into the crimes. Like, on the Manson murder, she did like a 4-part series. It was practically a mini series because each one was like an hour long. It's amazing. Such great content if you're interested in that. Another channel I really like, Shadiversary, who is a little bit book related, but he also does a lot of medieval history and weapons things. He talks about, one of my favorite videos he did is like how bad Rey actually is at fighting with a lightsaber. Is lightsaber actually a really good weapon for you to use? He does these like weapons battles, like which weapon is really the best, and he does it very detailed research, and he's Australian, and I love listening to him, so you should check him out. He's awesome. Next, I want to talk about a couple podcasts I really love. Again, I love true crime. One of them is My Favorite Murder with Georgia and Karen, and they somehow make true crime funny, but not in a disrespectful way, in an honoring way, but also, what can you do? This stuff is horrible, so let's like laugh a little bit about it. I love them. They also just had a book come out recently called Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered. I've only read the first chapter of it, but I can tell I'm going to love it already. Next, the other podcast I recently found and I'm just living for right now is called Mining Poldark, which is a spin-off of the Masterpiece Theater podcast, and they did deep dives into every episode leading up to like the new series is happening now, and now they're breaking down the new episodes. So if Poldark is something you love, I love Poldark. It was really fun too because they really call out some of the things that piss me off about it, as well as give Ross a hard time when he's being an ass. So check that out. It's fun. And then The Murder Squad, which is Paul Holes and Billy Jensen going over cold cases and trying to stir up new interest in them and help get them solved. And it's very exciting. I love listening to Paul Holes talk. He's one of the main investigators who helped find the Golden State Killer. I love him. And then finally, let's talk about a few food things. I'm really loving, as some of you know who've been following me, I've been doing kind of a healthier lifestyle lately, which has been awesome. It's going great. And a few of the things that have been helping me do this are as follows. First, Banza pasta. It's a chickpea pasta. It's not necessarily low carb, but it's a very balanced thing. And by balanced, I mean that like the macros balance out. Like the amount of carbs is weighed by how much protein is in it. And it's a really great pasta. I think it holds up a lot better than certain whole wheat pastas, and definitely better than some other kinds of pastas. You know, they get that like grainy or chewy feel. And these are really great. Like I can't even tell that they're made out of something else. And I really enjoy them, and they make a really good, spaghetti or penne, and I really like them a lot. And then I've also started doing power plate meals, which are these balanced meals that you go pick them up. There's frozen or fresh ones, and you just microwave them, and they've already made a meal for you that has tons of protein, low carbs, low fat. And I've been needing them because I haven't been eating enough protein on my own, and it's been causing me like struggles in my workout sometimes to not have enough protein to fuel my body. And power plate meals have a ton. So I don't know if there's one near you. You can check out the website and see if there's one near you, but they're either like $7 or $8 for each meal, which really, like, if you were going to eat out or you were going to buy your lunch at a deli or whatever, you're going to pay that. And this way, you know, you're getting really healthy, really good, nutritious meals for you. So I really suggest that. And then the other thing that I've just been downing a ton of is these Chobani Greek yogurt shakes or mixed drinks, because they're also a balanced meal. They are 18 carb, but they have 10 protein, and they're pretty low sugar too. So I just love these because they're just so good. I never really liked yogurt drinks before because sometimes they just are too thick or they don't like slide well, and I really, really love those. So those are super good. So yeah, those are just a few things outside of the book world that I'm liking. Tell me some TV shows you're loving. I do want to watch Carnival Row. My sister just finished it and she told me it's super good. So I'll definitely be checking that out. And then, yeah, but I mean, please tell me what you're liking. Tell me what I should check out. I would love to. I make new videos every Monday and Thursday and sometimes other times. And you can watch some of those videos right now.